Good day and welcome. My name is Dawn. I'm a Yin Yoga teacher. I teach at JJ Parr. Today's video is a Yin Yoga class, and this particular class we're going to concentrate a little bit on hips and a little bit more on the side body. So working into the side body, into those intercostal muscles. So we'll do this with some side bending and with some twists, all right? We'll start the class off with a couple back bends to get us going, and from there we'll get into it. To start off with, what you'll need prop-wise is 2 blocks if you have blocks. Don't worry if you don't have blocks, or even 1 block is fine. If you have books, if you can take some stack of books, maybe some bigger books, box, if you have some sort of smaller box kind of thing, something like that, or pillows, anything like that, just to get a little bit of height when we're doing our back bend here. The other thing that would be extremely helpful is some kind of pillow. I have what are called bolsters, so yoga bolsters. I have a bunch of these. You don't need to purchase a yoga bolster. You can use pillows off your bed, the cushions you have on your couch, anything like that, or even blankets, if you have some blankets that you can roll up. And this isn't even, the bolster today is not really going to matter all that much. An eye pillow for Savasana, if you have your own eye pillow. Any kind of sandbag or weight. Again, not necessary. None of this is necessary. These are all extras. I like this for some of the forward folds. You don't have to have that, okay? And a mat, of course. So I'd like it, so gather up your stuff, and you can stop the video. You can go gather up what you need, and then we'll get started, okay? Great, see you in a minute. Okay, here we are. So to start, please find yourself in a nice, comfortable position on your mat. We're going to stay here for just a couple of minutes, so it's not that big of a deal. Whether you are propped up, not propped up, however you are. I just want you to come into your classroom, your home. This is your classroom right now. And let go of everything that's happened, before you started, or anything that you have to do after this. But this next hour is just for you, okay? If sitting upright is bothering you, you can lay down. Lay on your mat, that's fine. This is your time. This is your class. So whether you are lying down or whether you're seated in this Sukhasana easy pose, cross-legged, or sitting on your feet, sitting on a prop, just start to notice your breath. Notice your breathing pattern. Do your very best not to manipulate the breath in any way. Don't worry if you aren't breathing, quote unquote, right. Everyone's breathing right. Just breathe in the way that you would naturally breathe. We'll do this to start, just to anchor you in the practice. Let your whole bottom body be heavy on the mat. Find length in the upper body through the whole back body, the crown of your head stretching up towards the sky. If you're lying down, allow yourself to sink a little deeper into the mat, following your breath as it enters through the nostrils, and again following your breath as it exits through the nostrils. may feel a little cooler as it enters your body and a little warmer as it exits. Noticing the path your breath takes down your back body. Or maybe just noticing where it lands in your body. And again, noticing the path as your breath exits through the nostrils, just a little bit warmer. So continue this breath, continue this breathing pattern, paying attention to where the breath goes. If you have sensations in your body right now, if you have any kind of pain, any kind of achiness, maybe notice if you can send the breath to that area to give it just a little bit of attention prior to getting into the various shapes that we will take during class. Bring your awareness now to your heart center. You can lay your hands here if you like. Bringing the breath into the heart center and noticing if maybe there's an intention known as the sankalpa, a heart's desire that you would like to bring into class today. A quality you want to bring onto your mat, and ultimately into your life. If nothing arises, nothing bubbles up for you, no problem. Something might come up during class, a thought, an intention. Maybe not. That's okay too. If something did arise for you, a word, a phrase, a sensation, feel it, repeat it 3 times silently to yourself. Set that sankalpa in place for class. Please join me in 2 shared breaths. These will be done by inhaling through the nose and exhaling out the mouth. Inhale. Get a big Buddha belly. Feel it up in the chest. And as you exhale out the mouth, releasing from the chest and the Buddha belly. Inhale. Exhale. If your eyes are closed, and start to open them, letting some light in, lifting your gaze. Smile. One more big breath. And let's get started. So the first posture is known as the bridge. Please come onto your back on your mat. Bend your knees. Bring the soles of your feet to the mat. Just let your head be on the mat, your whole body, your whole upper body, just lying on the mat. Your soles of your feet are in quite close up to your glutes here. Take one of those supports, one of those blocks. Lift, push into your soles of your feet, lifting your hips just enough and sliding that block underneath your hips, so under the sacrum. So if you feel it in the lower back at all, please adjust. It should actually feel quite comfortable for most of you. Once you've got that in place, allow yourself to be heavy. Allow that support to keep you there. Don't hold yourself up on your support. Let the support hold you. Notice the difference, those two things. Just think about that. Are you holding yourself there? Are you gripping? Are you tense? Or can you release, let go, find some heaviness, and just let that block hold you? Staying here for a moment and just noticing, what does this feel like? What does this feel like now? You can choose to stay here or extending your legs. One leg, the other leg, maybe alternating the legs, maybe having one at a time extended. If you choose, you can extend both legs. And again, make sure you're heavy on your block. The block is holding you. If you're like me, you get a little tense in the shoulders. Notice if you're holding, and maybe just release down. Couple more breaths here. If you did extend the legs and it's really, you're not enjoying that, and maybe it's even painful, we don't want any pain. All these shapes we're going to try today, no pain. So if it is, just rebend those legs. Bring the soles of the feet back to the mat and stay here. So now choose to either stay here with the legs extended or with the knees bent. And if you want a little bit more, you can push into the soles of the feet, take your other block or your other little stack of books or a pillow, whatever you have, your support, add it on. And then here I find I need to adjust a bit, not into the lower back, but just a bit different. It's higher, everything changes a bit. Make sure you're on that flat part there, the sacrum, not into the lower back. Again, should feel comfortable. Find yourself supported by the blocks again, your books, whatever it is. Allow your props to support you. Don't hold yourself up on them. Let go. And choose to either keep the knees bent or extend the legs again. If you extend the legs, it's too much, rebend the knees. If you've come up onto two supports, two blocks, and this is too much, no problem, rebend. If you're not already, lift, remove one of the supports, come back down onto just the one. Wherever you are at, breathe. Our breath is always our anchor. Breath and gravity is what's going to help us to get into these postures. It's what's going to help us stay in these postures, and it's what's going to help us to find space in the body. Two more breaths here. Pushing into the soles of your feet. If you have two blocks, remove the top one, down onto just the one. Nice and slow. Breathe here. Notice how that felt. So when you initially came onto one block, it might have felt like a back bend, like, oh. Then you went on two. You removed the top one, and now you're back down to one, just noticing, wow, it doesn't even feel like anything anymore. If that's not true for you, that's fine. Just in my body, that's what I notice. It feels kind of neat, actually. One more breath here. Let it out to the mouth with any kind of noise you want. Lift those hips just slightly. Remove the last block and slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae, coming down. There you go. You're all the way down onto, you got your hips on that mat. Extend those legs. Staying here. Breathing. Noticing what's happening in your body. What's happening in the hips, what's happening in the lower back. This was a back bend. This is that particular posture really helps us to encourage the natural curvature in the lower back, in that lumbar region. We tend to lose it as we age. If you have a desk job, you might really notice that this feels really good. Or any kind of if you're in a seated position during the day. One more breath. Release. Breath is back to normal if you're feeling ready to move on. Come on up. We'll do one more back bend before moving on into the hip openers. So this one is known as Sphinx. We're going to do it on our belly. Okay, so it's basically a version of Bhujangasana or the Cobra, if you know that. It's done just a little bit differently. You can use prop if you like. I'm going to show it without, and then I can cue you into it with the prop. So come down onto your belly. Oh, there you go. Nice and slow. Right, so you're on your forearms. Elbows slightly forward of the shoulder. Your forearms, there's going to be a little bit of pushing into those forearms. Your hands, your elbows are about shoulder width apart. And your hands will be as well. Just a little bit of pushing into those forearms to maintain the distance between the shoulders and the ears. So if you notice that you're sinking down, no problem, it happens to all of us. A little bit of pressure into those forearms, find that space. But the whole lower body, so the whole bottom body is heavy, okay? It's heavy on the mat. Your legs are open, about shoulder width, maybe even further. Take them right to the edge of your mat. Find a little focus point, maybe 4 feet in front of you. This is your drishti, your little gaze point. You're also welcome and encouraged to close your eyes and just breathe. So stay here. If you're okay here and you're feeling good, stay here. If this feels like too much for you, bring those elbows forward until you're on your lower ribs, and then maybe this will be okay. Try it like that. If it's still too much in the lower back, you have a couple options. One of them is come all the way down, bring those elbows wide, bring your forehead down onto the top of your hands or down onto your mat, and stay there. It's a little bit less of a back bend, but it is still a back bend. The other option that you could do is bringing your legs together. Bring them right together, squeeze them, engage, press into the tops of the feet. So you're going to lift those knees off the mat. So you're totally yang in the lower body. So this is a yin class. I realize it's not a yin posture in the lower body, but if your back is hurting, this will help to protect it. You could do that. So that will distribute the posture. Is instead of concentrating on the lower spine, it will take up the whole spine. You'll feel some work. All right? Distribute it more evenly. Otherwise, keep the legs about, mat width apart. And just stay here and breathe and enjoy. If this isn't enough for you, if you're on the opposite end of the spectrum, then hands, bring them just in and just forward of your chest. Push into those hands. Come on up. Ah, it feels good. This is seal. Okay. So it's more of a back bend. You're really going to feel that in the lumbar region. You're really compressing that lumbar region. If you were the person, I'm just going to come down and demonstrate something. If you had your legs together and engaged, you will not be in seal. Do not even try it. Please. Just stay where you are. Otherwise, here we are. And if you did come up here, you're in seal, you're feeling pretty good, but all of a sudden you realize, wow, I can't hold this very long. This is maybe a bit too much for me. You tried it. That's great. Slowly come down. Slow, slow, slow. Come back to Sphinx and breathe. Pushing into those forearms just that little bit. All right. 2 more breaths here. Wherever you are. If you are up in seal, please come down into Sphinx now. Moving slowly. Inhale one more time, and as you exhale, take those elbows out wide. Bring the forehead onto the top of your back of your hands. Stay here and breathe. Send the breath into that lumbar region, into the lower spine. Notice if there's intense feelings, sensations, buzzing, maybe jittery, oh, my lower back. Not pain, but just those sort of achy feelings that you get from doing these postures, the sensations, the feelings. It's not in your mind. You don't hear it. There's no words. It's just feelings. If it's pain, you did too much. Please don't. If you're ever feeling pain, please come out of the posture. Any posture that we're doing. Any shape. Otherwise, just noticing the intensity of the sensations. Maybe by this time now, they've disappeared. You're back to your normal, neutral place. From here, push it into your hands, all the way up and over into child's pose. So child's pose can be done a couple different ways. There's a few options. First of all, you might choose to keep your knees together. I'm going to face the camera. So knees together. And then just coming down and bringing your forehead all the way down onto your mat. If your forehead doesn't reach, then you take your bolster, your pillow, your books, your blocks, anything, so that you can make that contact, okay? The other option would be, I'm going to turn this way again, to open those knees up, okay? So I would say open them up to about the edge of your mat. And then coming down. Same idea, but now you've got more space. This feels really good for some people. And again, forehead onto the mat, okay? So if you can keep your hips on your feet, that's great. If they're up here a little bit, that's okay too. You might even want to put blankets or pillows under there for comfort and for something for you to ease into. The other option that's quite nice is taking, if you have pillows, bolsters, with your legs nice and wide, you've got your bolster here. Now you're just laying on your bolster. That feels really good too. Either facing one way or the other way or your forehead. So whatever it is, whichever position you have taken, whichever version of child's pose, staying here for another minute. if your head is turned, maybe turn it in the other direction for a couple breaths, just to open up the neck, both sides, get some comfort. If it's impossible for you, if that hurts your neck, stay where you are. Stay there for another 4 breaths. And then inhale up, push the floor away. If you did have any support here that you were using, please move them out of the way. Our next posture now is, we're going to do 2 postures. We'll do one side and then we'll do the other side of the body. So the first one is known as, in Yin, it's sort of swan. You might know it as pigeon. Okay, so sleeping pigeon, sleeping swan. We're going to start in tabletop. Take your left knee behind your left wrist and then put out a bit. So, and then just stepping the right leg back as far as you can, and then the top of the foot on the mat. So here, this left foot is in close to my body. There's some of you that can bring it right out at a 90-degree angle. For this part here, we can do that after. For this part here, keep it in fairly close. Line yourself up. We're not going to come down yet. We're going to stay up nice and high. So scissoring yourself and letting yourself slide down. And staying here. Hands wherever you want, on your foot, on your thigh, on your mat, on your fingertips. Whatever feels good for you. And just finding where you're at. This is a very short posture. We're not staying here. I just realized I was going to get people to put their weights on their lower back in child's pose, and I totally forgot about it. We'll use it here in pigeon. All right. 2 more breaths. It's a little bit of a back bend here. So extending your chest, your whole front body forward and up. From here, you can just lay over that front leg, the left leg, or if you choose, bringing that up to that 90-degree angle. So it's parallel with the top of your mat. Just adjusting a little bit here, and then laying down. So we're not too worried about the alignment so much with the hips here in Yin. If you have one hip way high up, then that's where you would take blankets, pillows, blocks, whatever you have to support it so it's not hanging and it's not tense. So your little weight, if you choose, you can put it on your lower back. That's just a little bit of extra love for your body. For some people, it feels really good. For others, it doesn't. So choose, decide. If you're using a little bit of weight and you realize you don't like it, it's not good for you, get rid of it. Okay? So everything is an option. Everything is optional. I offer these postures to you. You choose to do them. You choose to do your version. If you have something better that you would prefer to do, feel free. I put together the classes in a way and in a sequence that I feel would be helpful for this particular either body part or system in the body. And you need to understand your own body, listen to your body, and be curious to what's happening. Maybe it's not going to work for you today. A few more breaths here. So this particular routine, that sequence I'm taking you through, it's called, it's working with the gallbladder and the liver meridians In yoga, we call them nadis. All they are is energy channels in the body. Through your energy flows. So this one here, there's one that's going up the side body that we're working today, and the other one is inner thighs, so with the hips, and into the organs in the lower body. In the beginning, when we did the back bends, it was more of the kidney, and that was really opening up in the chest and the whole front body. All right, just interesting. One more breath. And then slowly pushing the floor away from you, coming on up. And then just noticing. So that was your left leg in front. So now, in the next shape we're taking, the left leg is on the bottom. The right leg, which was the back leg, is going to be on top. Shoelace. In the yin, we call this shoelace. Starting off upright, noticing how your weight is distributed. So your two sits bones in the cheeks, in your glutes, are those sits bones both equally, on the mat? Do they have equal amount of weight? Don't shift your body side to side. Try to stay as upright as possible, without leaning. And just noticing how the weight is. Can you mentally put more weight? My right leg, and hopefully you're doing it the same way, the right leg is on top. So that right sits bone may not have quite as much weight on it. But rather than to come to the side to get weight in it, stay where you are, maintain your alignment, and just notice you can mentally send some more weight there. Staying here for a couple more breaths. So if this posture is not available to you, so if you're in it, stay there. Otherwise, if it's too much for you, that bottom leg, that left leg, you can straighten it out. This might make this posture a little more available to you. Okay? If this is still not something that you can really do today, maybe your body's just not enjoying this today, come on your back. So that right leg, cross it over. This is known as the figure 4. So your right ankle is crossing over the thigh, just below, I guess above the knee. On the left leg. You can stay right here. You can paddle that right leg away. You can lift that left leg up. You can even reach through to the left leg, to the left calf or the left thigh. And one more option, taking a block or your books and putting that left foot, that left leg on the block, keeping that height, and just paddling the right leg away. Okay, so that's your figure 4. That's what you'll do instead. The other option could be, one more option is taking your right leg on top of your left, crossing the legs, bringing the legs up, and then grabbing at the ankles. So you're doing the same exact posture, but you're taking the back out of the equation, and maybe this would make it a bit more accessible for you. So choosing one of these options, and then from here, I'm going to do one more thing here. If you're on your back, you're not going to be able to do the twists. Okay? If you are seated, turning, the right leg is on top, turning to the right. So that'd be inhale to find space, exhale to turn, and just looking to the right and staying here. So stay here, stay with this. I'm just going to show people another option if they're having a hard time with the shoelace. But if you are here already, please just stay here. The other thing you could do is just coming into that easy pose, that Sukhasana, if that is available to you, and then turning and getting your twist this way. Nothing wrong with that. You will try to maintain the weight in the sits bones. You're just going to turn, okay? So that would be your option. Couple more breaths here. Noticing when you turned, did that change where you felt anything? So these meridians, these channels in the body, these energy channels that we're working with today, they're associated with the springtime. It's the element of wood and the time of spring. And as I've recorded this, we are about a month into spring, almost 3 weeks, I think. It's snowy, it's cold here. But generally spring is associated with that manifestation of our ideas, the things that we were thinking about and we were planning during the winter. And now it's spring, and now we've got that energy. And you think about like the plants. This is when they start to grow up out of the earth. So our ideas are starting to come together, that whole potential that that idea has, those ideas that they're going to manifest. This is the time when they will manifest. And if our energy channels are clogged and they're not, energy is not flowing well, it's hard to really bring that, to really make that happen, to bring it to fruition. What's going to happen with all those ideas, with all that potential? So clear up these channels. Back to center. And then your right hand down and your left arm up and over. So really working into this side body here. So noticing that you really don't just dump to the side, but you find space and curl over that ball here. If you like, you can add the arm. If this is the arm on top is just hanging like this, it's too, painful, it's not comfortable, it's too much for you, maybe just support your head with that arm. That might feel good. Let your weight of your head come into your hand. You can look down, you can look forward, you can look up. So where you look is maybe dependent on how much you want to feel in the body, and also if you're able to do it, if your neck is allowing you to do that, and your shoulders here. So my shoulders, I have an issue with them. So for me, I like to just bring my hand behind to maintain the two shoulders in line here, and do it this way. So how deep you go in these side bends, or in any of these shapes, really isn't really important. What's really important is that you feel something. So come to that point of resistance. When you feel that stretch, when you feel that resistance, wherever you're feeling it, that means you're at a good place. So you don't push through it. You stay there. You breathe into that. You just notice that. Eventually, your body will offer you to go further. You will find some space. You will notice that. And then maybe on an exhale, you might come down a bit more. Inhale back up slowly. And then from here, you can choose to stay upright, Or if you want to get a little folding in here, just for a few breaths, bring your hands forward. Make sure you maintain the weight in your hips. Inhale, and as you exhale, that weight is in the hips. Don't dump into your knees. And then you can come down. Staying here, breathing, finding some softness, finding some comfort within the posture. It's easy to find strength and holding and gripping, but it's not sometimes as easy to release and let go and say, yeah, this is okay. But that's really where the magic is going to happen if you allow that. Allow some softness. Allow yourself to relax into these shapes. One more breath. And then eventually, pushing the floor away from you, coming all the way up, unraveling very, very gently, very slowly, very mindfully, unraveling your legs, coming down onto your mat, and noticing the effects of the posture. Both those postures. We did an upright swan and a sleeping swan, and then the variations of the shoelace posture. So we did a lot of hip opening, a lot of breathing into the hip space, into that whole region, that pelvic region, maybe the lower back, maybe the inner thighs. And notice how you feel now. What's happening in your body now. One more breath. And eventually coming all the way back up. We'll do the other side. So I will show you the other side of my body by staying in the same position here, so you can see what it looks like from both angles here. All right, so we're in tabletop. Take your right knee behind your right wrist, and then stepping that leg back, so the back leg back as far as you can. So that right foot is in close to the body. You're sitting nice and high. Check it out. Notice if your back foot is sickling. See if you can straighten it out. Okay? So in a line. Staying here. Hands either on your left hand or left foot, right hand on the right thigh, or maybe their palms are down. Maybe you're on your fingertips. Finding space in the back body, space in the front body. Breathing. A couple more breaths here. All right. One more. And as you exhale, start to make your way down. Again, your choice to keep that left foot in close to your body or bring it out to a right angle. Line up that back leg, line up the front leg, coming down. So this is your sleeping swan. These channels, this gallbladder and the liver channels, these nadis, if they are not open, if the energy is not flowing freely, one of the things you might notice is that you're easy to anger or easily frustrated. So emotional distress. Just something to note. Maybe this class today, maybe you could repeat this a few times. Maybe this will help out a bit. Or just keeping in mind side bending, twisting, some hip opening. Seeing if that helps you. If your ideas are stuck, if you're stagnant in the body, it's a lot of side work here. Bend, do some side bending. Find some space in the intercostal muscles in between those ribs. Breathe into it. Notice after how it feels. If your breath gets away from you, maybe you've come too deep, you can come out a bit. If your leg is at that 90-degree parallel to the top of the mat, maybe bring it in closer. Send the breath where you feel the sensations in the body. Notice the differences on this side from the first side. Does this side feel more open, or maybe this side feels more challenging for you? Come back to your sankalpa. Come back to that desire, that quality that you wanted to bring onto the mat today. With me, it was curiosity. Coming on up, bringing that leg in. I'm going to switch all the way around here so I'm not facing away from you. So now we have, or I have, and I hope you are the same. If not, don't worry. The right leg is on the bottom, the left leg is on the top. So this is our shoelace. We're going to start upright. So remembering, if you did the figure four, do the figure four again. Opposite now. If you did this on your back, do the same thing, just switching which leg is on top, okay? And holding on the ankles. Otherwise, if you were upright and you had one leg extended, this time it's the opposite leg. So it'll be the right leg extended. Same thing. And when we fold, we'll be folding. You can do the twist. You can do the side bend from here. Everything. Otherwise, if you are already in this posture here, the full Gomukhasana, or shoelace, just staying with it. A couple more breaths here. Noticing the difference maybe from side to side. So in my body now it's the left sits bone that maybe doesn't have as much weight on it. So I mentally have to think about sanding the breath there, sanding some weight there. Inhale. And if you're sitting upright, maybe you want to turn. So left leg is on top, we're turning to the left. If you happen to be in the other direction, if your right leg happens to be on top, then you will turn to the right. Turn towards the leg that's on top. So when we do these twists, just keep in mind, you inhale to find length, you exhale to find that depth, and twist from the belly, then the chest, and then your head. Breathing, send the breath where you need it. Maybe do a little scan of your body, just a little mental scan. Notice where the majority of the sensations are landing in the body, where you might want to take the breath to find some space, to find some opening. Inhale back to center. Stay for a breath. Left hand down, right hand reaching up and over. Feeling it. Sending the breath, the whole right side of the body. Maybe feeling it between the rib cages. And all that space there, intercostal muscles. If this is not comfortable for your arm to just be hanging there, take that hand, cradle your head, and you can feel the weight of your head and also support your head, but support that hand at the same time. So it feels just a little bit more comfortable. You can look forward, you can turn your head, you can look up, or you can look down at your mat. Put that other hand there, the left hand. Whatever's most comfortable for you. And noting maybe it's not the same as it was on the other side. It depends maybe on the condition of your neck and just what's happening in your body right now. What might feel good for you. What might work. Inhale for length, exhale for depth. Noting that when you get to that point of resistance, when you can feel something, you've got these sensations that you feel, that's a good place to stay. No need to push past. On your next inhale, coming up, releasing that hand down, staying for a breath. And inhale to find length. And if you wish, you can fold forward over your knees. Remember, don't dump into your knees. Keep that weight back in your hips. Maybe noticing how it feels different on this side. Maybe there's more space. Maybe it feels tighter on this side. There's no need to label it good, label it bad. It just is. Two more breaths here. And when you're ready, placing your hands on the floor, pushing the floor away from you, coming all the way back up, very gently, very mindfully, unraveling those legs. Turning on your mat, if you were facing the lengthways, and coming down onto your back. Breathe into the hips, into the inner thighs, maybe the lower back, wherever you're feeling sensations. Breathing into that space, noticing if maybe the intensity becomes less and less with those sensations with every breath. When you're ready, move into our next shape. Banana asana. So again, working the side bodies. Stepping your right leg to the right, your left leg to the right. Maybe hooking that left foot on top of the right foot. Or you could do it in the reverse, right foot on top of the left. And then your upper body also over to the right. So you feel that opening, you feel the stretch on the left side, arms overhead, and just gently pulling towards the right. You're in that little banana shape, so you feel it all along the left side of your body. Your gaze is either straight up, maybe in the same direction as your feet and your upper body, or maybe in the opposite direction. Deciding what might feel the best for you right now. Notice where you feel. Pay attention to that. We're going to move to the other side here shortly. And just maybe noticing if it feels in the same area on the opposite side of the body, or what the difference really is. Inhale. If your head is turned, just bring it up, looking upright. Unhook those feet. Bring your legs back to center, arms back down by your side, your whole body to center, staying for a breath. And then moving the legs to the left. Either left on top of right, right on top of left. Whatever you did on the one side, maybe try it in the same sort of thing on this side. And then your whole body also to the left. So now we're going to feel it down the right side of the body. Arms overhead, maybe just a gentle pulling to the left, everything to the left, or banana to the left. Feeling it down the right side of the body and noticing how this compares to the other side, to that left side. It's not right or wrong, it's not good or bad. It's knowledge. It's just something for you to know about your own body. Looking up, looking in the direction of your legs, of your banana, looking in the opposite direction. Whatever feels good, and whatever you maybe tried on the first side, try on the second side. If it doesn't work for you, then you need to modify. Whole side body on the right. I can feel it right from the toes, up right through my arms. Two more breaths here. If your head is not already to center, please do that. Please unhook your feet, legs back to center, arms down by your side, whole body to center. Staying for a breath. Bend the right leg, shift to the right, bring that right leg over to the left. Notice your shoulders. If your right shoulder has lifted, bring it back down. Both shoulders on the mat, equal weight. Your hands can either be spread out wide, they can be in cactus arms, they could be by your side. I like to hold my legs. So my right leg is over to the left, my left arm is holding it. And I'm looking in the opposite direction of my knees. So you can really place your gaze where it's best for you. You can look in the opposite direction, you can look straight up, or maybe even looking in the direction of that bent knee. Staying for a couple more breaths. Noticing that after that banana asana, after we stretch the whole side body, does this feel good in your body to do this? It's already pretty open, it probably feels pretty nice. If your head is turned, please bring it to center. Bring that right leg back. Shift your hips back to center. Bend your left leg and extend your right leg. So the left leg, or actually pick your hips up over to the left. Bring the left leg to the right. Make sure both shoulders are down again, both on the mat. Again, extending your arms. I like to take my hand on my leg, a little bit of weight. You can look in the direction of that bent knee. You can look straight up. You can look in the opposite direction. Your gaze, it doesn't really matter, but it feels good in your neck. It feels good in your body. Turned, bring it back to center, bring that bent knee back up, shift your hips to center, extend both your legs, stay for a breath, release out your mouth, and prepare for Savasana. So traditional Savasana, the rest of the end of the yoga, is done on your back, just lying here. You can lay on your tummy, you can lay on your side, you can bend your knees, maybe bring the feet to the edge of your mat, let your knees come together. This is known as constructive rest. It's a very nice release for the psoas muscles. You could also, if your lower back is maybe giving you some grief, you don't like to just lay flat on your back, you can take a bolster or pillows underneath your thighs or underneath your knees, and lie like this, allowing your lower back to release, to decompress, and also a release of the psoas. Your hands can be in your belly, your hands can be by your side. If you have an extra blanket nearby, maybe putting a blanket over your body for warmth. The warmth, it's so good for the nervous system, and if you have weight, maybe we talked about the sandbags on the belly, that feels good. Or a heavy blanket is good as well. Let your whole body be heavy on the mat. Soften your face, relax your eyes, relax the muscles of your entire face. The tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Part your lips slightly. Notice if your chest can be heavy, your shoulders, your belly soft, your hips heavy, your whole body relaxed. Your whole body relaxed. Staying in your Savasana for as long as you can. If you did have an eye pillow, don't forget to use it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that this class served you in some way. helped you to find some space, maybe some inspiration. It's been my pleasure and my honor to be here. Thank you so much. Namaste.